Hi there, let me take a few minutes to give you some hints and suggestions about the third AP practice question about random variables. Again, if you haven't read the entire question, pause the video now and read the entire question, and then I'll come back and give you some hints. So first of all, don't worry about the first part of the question. The first part of the question, part A, that involves a geometric random variable. That's something that we will come back to. So when you read part B, notice probability is what you're going to calculate exactly 2 times in the next 20 flights. So notice this also is a binomial situation. So think about your conditions. Either you are upgraded or are not upgraded, so there are 2 outcomes. There's a fixed number of trials, 20 flights. There is a fixed probability of success that is given to you up at the very top. That's 0.10, the probability of a coach class ticket holder who flies frequently that they'll be upgraded to first class. And notice you are even told that this outcome is independent from flight to flight, so you have all the pieces that you need to actually calculate this. Remember that you need to demonstrate that you know what type of random variable you are using. So it's good to indicate that you know that x is distributed binomially, and you would specify the number of trials and your fixed probability of success, and then make sure you describe your particular event. Describe the event, and then give your probability. So notice what's happening then in part C is we have a different number of trials. So Sam will take 104 flights next year. Would you be surprised if he received more than 20 upgrades? So it's something to think about. Now your fixed number of trials is 104. You still have that fixed probability of success of 0.1. So what you're really being asked to think about is, does this event right here, the probability of more than 20 upgrades, would this outcome, x greater than 20, would that be surprising or not? And would that be surprising based on the probability that you can calculate? So your justification should refer to the probability that you can calculate here. Understand there are a couple of ways to do it. So you could do this calculation directly, either using the binomial PDF or CDF command on your calculator. I would definitely recommend using the CDF command here. So understand the complement of this event is just 1 minus the probability that x is less than or equal to 20. It would be important to show this type of work if you wanted to use your calculator commands in order to give your probability so that you can justify your answer. You could proceed in that direction. However, you could, if you prefer, you could also use the normal approximation. So understand, for the normal approximation to be appropriate, n times p has to be greater than or equal to 10, and so does n times 1 minus p. Both of those have to be greater than or equal to 10. So you should explicitly calculate those here. So literally you'd have to take your number of trials times your success probability, calculate that value, show me that it's greater than or equal to 10, and then the same thing, n times the, if you will, failure probability, calculate that value, show me that it's greater than or equal to 10. So if you do that, then you can use the normal approximation to the binomial random variable here. So in order to do that, you're going to want to reconsider this over here, the probability that x is greater than 20. But if you want to reconsider that by calculating instead a z-score, in order to calculate that z-score, you have your outcome of 20, but you're going to have to use the mean and the standard deviation. So you'll have to use your formula for calculating the mean. You'll have to use your formula for calculating the standard deviation. And there would be nothing wrong then with using that mean and that standard deviation, calculating a z-score. If you're going to go that route, I would go so far as to draw a picture, shade the region that's interesting, and then you could use one of our calculator commands in order to find that probability. But then don't forget to go back and answer the question. Remember the question, would you be surprised if Sam receives more than 20 upgrades? Technically, that's a yes or no question. So make sure that you indicate that as a yes or no answer and then justify your answer by using the probability that you've calculated in one of these ways.